living in the sky, floating with the birds and clouds. But where does the sky start? Where does it end? The butterfly, a meter or two away, is already in the sky. Birds flying 50 or 100 meters away, they're sky creatures too. The clouds above, 2, 3, or 5 kilometers up, a jet goes by 10 or 11 kilometers overhead. At night, satellites are visible from 350 to 37,000 kilometers away. My old friend Luna is 300,000 kilometers away. Mars, our neighbor, is 54 million kilometers away at its closest. Sol, sustainer of life, is 150 million kilometers away. And what of the thousands of stars that compose the night sky? Proxima Centauri, our closest star, is 40 trillion kilometers away. And our galaxy, the Milky Way? The galactic center is some 235 quadrillion kilometers away. And yet, all of these are part of the sky. In architecture, site drawings at multiple scales help to understand the context of a project. This first site drawing extends to Luna's orbit, humanity's furthest reach. One can see the Van Allen radiation belts, which protect us from the radiation in space. The orbits of weather satellites and GPS satellites are also visible. In the second drawing, Terra is 600 times closer than in the previous drawing. Only 500 kilometers of the surface and atmosphere are visible. The International Space Station is visible 410 kilometers above the surface. The edge of space, or the Kármán line, is visible in this drawing. It divides vehicles that fly in the air from those that fly in space. The lowest satellites are 270 kilometers above the Kármán line. The highest glider, the Parian 2, the highest plane, the SR-71, and the highest balloon, the Stratolab 5, all fall well short of the Kármán line. In fact, there is a 300-kilometer chasm separating the air-based atmosphere from space. The Armstrong limit is the point at which fluids will boil at body temperature. At this altitude, a pressurized environment is necessary. At the bottom of the drawing, the light gray stratosphere and the light blue troposphere are visible, as are Everest and the Marianas Trench. This final drawing is 40 times closer than the last. It shows the troposphere, which accounts for 3/4 of the atmosphere, going from 8 kilometers thick at the poles to 18 kilometers thick at the equator. Above 10 kilometers, there's only 29% of the oxygen at sea level, and yet 2 species of birds have been spotted at this elevation. Ruppel's griffon vulture living in the African Sahel has been spotted as high as 11 kilometers. The common crane, when migrating, goes as high as 10 kilometers. Above 8 kilometers, there's only 37% of the oxygen at sea level. Here, the bar-headed goose migrates flying over the Himalayas, the highest mountains in the world. The whooper swan, one of the heaviest flying birds, also flies in this range. The alpine chough inhabits the high mountains of southern Europe, northern Africa, and Central Asia. At this elevation, one finds the 2 tallest peaks in the world, Everest and K2. Above 6 kilometers, oxygen levels are half of what they are at sea level. In this range, we find the bearded vulture rising above 7 kilometers, as well as the ubiquitous mallard. The bartailed godwit's non-stop flight across the Pacific from Alaska to New Zealand is the longest of any bird. The 3 highest peaks in the Americas, Aconcagua, Chimborazo, and Denali, are found above 6 kilometers. Above 4 kilometers, oxygen levels rise to 60% of sea level. Here one finds the white stork, the Andean condor, and the frigate bird. Kilimanjaro in Kenya, Africa's 2 highest peaks, and Elbrus, Europe's tallest peak, are all above 5 kilometers. Above 4 kilometers, one finds Vinson in Antarctica and Puncak Jaya on the equator, as well as Mont Blanc in Europe and Mauna Kea in the Pacific. It is in these elevations human habitations begin to appear. The highest of these is La Rinconada at 5.1 kilometers. Ngara and El Alto are also found in this band. Above 1 kilometer, the swallow dances, as well as the Mexican free-tailed bat. Fuji, Kosciuszko, Oyama all make their appearance in this range. And of course, many more cities. Above 3 kilometers, Lhasa and La Paz. Above 2 kilometers, Quito, Machu Picchu, Addis Ababa, Mexico City, Kijabe. Above 1 kilometer, Nairobi, Denver, Ulaanbaatar, Antananarivo. Our sky. Amazing, isn't it? Can you imagine living here? Until we meet again, enjoy the sky.